What's up, everybody? 3 Live Stream is back, and we got a brand new show for y'all, the Retro Wrestling Live Stream. And tonight, we got some players, and we got some big-time players in the wrestling business in the house tonight. Yeah, I'm gonna let my man BiGG Stan. I'm gonna let him introduce everybody. Go at it, bro.
All right, first of all, you already know who I am, but just in case you don't, I am the professional wrestling machine, BiGG Stan Harris, owner and operator of the most coveted prize in all of the Southwest professional wrestling region. And along with me tonight, I have none other than my main man, my number one soul brother, the man that does all the behind the scenes magic, none other than the one and the only greatest mind in all of professional wrestling. That's right. He is Honorable Dr.X.
Oh.
Well, I appreciate those kind words.
Go ahead, sir. Here. Wildcard, why don't you introduce yourself, and we'll let Dr. X go with him because he's a man of wisdom and he's going to have lots of words for us tonight. So I want him to have plenty of time to introduce himself to the people.
Well, you see, the wild card wouldn't miss this for the world because at the end of the day, when Pack Attack called and said, wild card, I know you're in Florida, you in Miami, and you got all them bitches around you. I said, don't worry about that, Pack Attack, because I'll be there, baby. I'll be there with the glasses on and the attitude switch turned up.
Go ahead, Dr. X.
Oh, man, I tell you what, it's an honor to be with you guys tonight. I really appreciate the opportunity and can't wait for the discussion. Yes,
sir. And we're going to we're going to hit you with some questions. I want everybody to get comfortable and know who you are, especially me too. I'm meeting you for the first time tonight through BiGG Stan. So I'm going to give some shout outs. We got Marcos from M3 Reviews is in the house. What's up, Marcos?
What up, Marcos?
We got the soldier. Hey, we got the 3 Live Soldier in the chat. McDJ ACDC.
Yeah, man. McD in the building, baby.
Right. Kato's here tonight. What is up, sir? We're going to have a good time and have some fun.
What's up?
Okay.
Kato. What it is, baby.
Looks like we got some all right, hold on a second. I think we got some technical issues. This is live, so there might be issues and it's all good. No worries.
Brandon tripping over cords in the back again.
They do that a lot. Can you hear yet, Dr. X? I don't think he has any audio.
Let me try some.
Yeah.
Get with him again.
You there, Dr. X? Why don't you try jumping out and coming back in? Maybe that'll work. If you can hear. I'm not sure you can hear. Here. If you can hear me, I'm going to bounce you out. Just come back in. Yeah. So while we're waiting for him, because he's having some issues right now, what you been up to, Wild Card? It's been a while, man.
Nothing, baby. You know how it goes. I get down to Miami and them bitches just flow. Because it's all about them in the water, baby. Yeah. That's it, man. Just been down in Miami, chilling like a felon and relaxing.
Too humid down there for me. You got audio, Dr. X?
All right. Sorry. I just now got y'all back.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, before we get into this, we got to light this thing up. So it is time. It's time.
It's time, baby.
Oh, I just hit you with something new. Dr. X is like that. My ear, man. I wasn't ready for that.
No, it's just these earbuds played out on me. So
Okay. So, Big Stan, why don't you kind of you guys have a relationship that I think needs to be kind of presented out. But tonight's episode is about what, sir?
Moves, holds, and maneuvers as it
Yes.
pertains to the greatest sport of all time, professional championship wrestling.
Yeah. We're gonna sprinkle that. We're gonna sprinkle that in a little bit. But if you could kind of fill us in on how you came to meet Dr. X, or how you kind of wanted to flesh that out, sir.
Yeah, I think it would be better if the good doctor were to go ahead and shed some light on that, being that he's been around a lot longer than I have in the business of professional wrestling. And I think that it would probably come off a lot more interesting to everybody if he would do the honors of going about let everybody know how he discovered Big Stan Harris.
well, when was it, Stan? It was it in the Queen,
About
Arkansas?
7 years ago, it was six years ago now. Say it again.
Well, things are kind of breaking up, so I don't know if y'all can hear me.
Yeah.
I've got y'all a little bit here, but yeah, 6 years ago, trying to remember exactly where we were. Is in
D.
Queen, Arkansas, or where?
Yes, sir. D. Queen, Arkansas. My first match. Or should I say my first 3 matches in one night.
Yeah. I saw Stan work and was just totally impressed with what I saw. It's something that I haven't seen out of a newcomer in a long time. You know, like you and I were talking earlier, Pac, you know, the days of old school wrestling are pretty much gone. You know, you don't see things like you used to. And I saw something special when I saw Stan. Stan actually knows the basics of wrestling. And to me, that is a total lost art. A lot of the guys you see nowadays, they want to be high flyers. They want to jump off the top rope out into the crowd. They want to do things that are unnecessary, in my opinion, to work a match. When I was coming up, of course, I guess I could give you a little history of Dr. X, but we'll save that for another time, I guess. But yeah, when I saw Stan work, I was just totally impressed. And I just went up to him at the end of the show and told him how much I appreciated what he was doing, and, you know, told him to keep up the good work. And from there, we just kind of struck up a relationship, and it's grown ever since then. So,
he actually be leaving out a very important element that he actually booked me for his last show, his final show that he promoted.
Yeah.
Within that same year, in which I'm very proud to be able to say that I am a part of his roster, in which is a long list of big names such as the Rock and Roll Express, Buff Bagwell, you name it, Trevor Murdoch, just a lot of just big names from all over, from generations all across, just to name a few. You know, I actually have the book with all the names of wrestlers that he has booked and had performed for his former company, SAW. And once again, is this endless name of who's who, even here today in professional wrestling. So to be a part of that roster and that alumni itself is just probably one of the biggest honors I could have in my short span being in the professional wrestling business.
So, anybody in the chat, if you have any questions for anybody on the panel, especially Dr. X, put them down there. We'll put them up so he can answer them. I'm going to sprinkle questions in while we do the moves, holds, and maneuvers. But Wild Card, I didn't know if you had anything you want to ask according to that. I got a couple questions, but I don't know if you did.
No, go for it, man.
Okay.
I'm here just to listen and sit back and absorb.
Yes. You got different personalities on the panel. I'm a fan of the old school, like I was telling you. BiGG Stan is the professional wrestler. You're a professional wrestler, Dr. X. Wild Card. Why don't you go ahead and tell everybody your backstory with your with wrestling?
Well, I come from a wrestling family, and while my uncle was professional wrestler and everything, and seeing it from the family's perspective, seeing stuff on tour, watching old tapes and stuff like that. My cousin was into it, and he got into professional wrestling. So watching and just and seeing the family when an injury would happen, watching a family come together and try to take care of my cousin and watching the injuries that my uncle had suffered from while he wrestled in his older age, and kind of how, I don't want to say deteriorated over time, but how injuries take a long-term effect on your body. And so that's kind of my perspective of wrestling. I love the sport, absolutely love it. But my perspective comes from like the family's perspective, if that makes sense.
Well, you both can attest to. There's the outcomes may be predetermined, but the hits, the bumps, all that, it's real. These guys are taking punishment. They know how to take hits, they know how to take bumps, but it's still a toll on the body in a very excruciating way. So, like you guys can attest to that more than we can. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
especially in the aspect of me still having what we call a shoot job. You know what I'm saying? There's been instances where I've actually left work after working 12 hours and went to wrestling school, went to train for another 2 hours, 2.5, just depends, Then it would be times where I would have to leave work early just to go wrestle on the weekend, So that was just a double whammy all the way across when you talk about wear and tear on the body,
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Dr. X. I got a question for you down there. M3 Reviews would like to know, Dr. X, are you a fellow toy collector as well?
No, I'm not. I used to have some wrestling memorabilia, but I never have collected the toys.
He's all that up to me.
Is there anything you do collect?
Dust.
No, fuck. Dude, I didn't know if I was gonna say guns, women. I didn't know, man.
No, I don't think my wife would approve of that.
Hey, mine either.
Yeah, we're not gonna be able to elaborate on any of that kind of stuff there, because
what I collect is championships for my guys. That's what we collect.
Well, I'm gonna tell you,
the good doctor is inadvertently a chick magnet in his own right, and a lot of times during the shows, my job ends up turning into the guy that has to try to get the women to keep the distance from the good doctor.
Ladies love wrestlers. Ladies love wrestlers.
You don't have any problem with that, Stan.
Yeah. Hey, there sounds like some stories. Go ahead, Wild Card. You were saying something. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I was gonna put it simply. My wife didn't like me collecting the ladies either, so I divorced her.
Well, I'm on my third one. You know what they say, third time's a charm. I've definitely learned my lesson.
Right off, right off.
All right. I'm going to kind of segue into the topic, and I still want to talk here and there about just a little bit about Dr. X, but we're going to do it while we talk about the topic. Kind of freelance it. Big Stan, you got questions. Wild card chat, you got questions. But the topic,
1 second.
yeah, holds, maneuvers, and damn it, I always forget. Holds, maneuvers, and whatever it was.
Moves, and maneuvers, Daddy.
Yeah. Now, you said Dr. X, when you first came across Big Stan, he had the fundamentals. The fundamentals has to go into that topic. When you say you saw the fundamentals, what are those in the wrestling business?
Well, it's just the simplest things. I mean, you need to know how to take a bump. You know, you need to know how to run the ropes properly. You need to know how to throw your punches. You need to know how to lock up in the collar and elbow tie up. You know, you need to know how to transition from one hold to another. I've seen guys that can't do any of those, and yet they won't call themselves wrestlers or professional wrestlers, rather. And to me, they're no more than backyard wannabes. You know, to me, the most important thing anybody can do is learn the basics. You can work match after match after match with just basics. You don't need to be a high flyer. You don't need to, put your neck on the line. But at the same time, knowing the basics, that includes protecting the person you're wrestling as well, so they don't get hurt. It's just simple things, chops, arm bars, hip tosses, arm drags, the basics. That's what's important.
Now, would we say some people may not know the wrestling slang? When you say take a bump, for the people out there, if somebody needs to know, one of the fundamentals is know how to take a bump. When you say that, what do you mean?
Well, you want to make sure
knowing how to properly hit the mat.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's a lot of people.
You spend all your life learning how to walk and be upright. Well, the fundamentals for taking the bump is knowing how to fall without breaking your neck or breaking your back or breaking your butt or anything that it's gonna hurt, but still you don't break anything, and that's what he means by protecting your opponent and making sure they don't get hurt. Make sure they can be able to get back up.
Yeah.
And
a lot of people have the misconception that a wrestling ring is like a trampoline. It's real soft. And that's nothing further from the truth. These guys go out there every night, night after night, and they're hitting 2x12 boards with very little padding in between them and those boards. I mean, it's when you hear the term spine on the pine, that's exactly what you're getting. Spine on the pine. And it hurts, When I went to wrestling school, I trained under General Skandar Akbar in Dallas, Texas.
Oh.
His ring was nothing but boards and a hard athletic mat. There was no canvas. There was no fancy padding. It was steel cables with a piece of water hose over it. It was a rough ring to train in. And I did that. Oh, Lord. I drove out to Dallas once a week for years. And my first day, only thing I did was take bump after bump after bump after bump for hours. So.
Like an example would be if you don't know how to take a suplex, you're probably getting fucking hurt.
Yeah, definitely.
It can be devastating, but the art of how you guys can put yourself in the position to take it and still get back up. That's a whole finite art of what you guys do. You guys are putting on. You guys like when a lot of the wrestlers transition to actors. I always thought it was perfect because they were the best. They went in there. They did their persona. They did what they're supposed to do, and that translates. You know what I mean? It's like an orchestra. It's a form of art, and I don't think a lot of people understand that.
Oh, definitely. And you're working together with the guy that you're wrestling. I mean, wild card. You say you've got family in the business. Are you a worker yourself?
No.
Okay, but I mean, you've got family, and you know exactly what they go through.
Yeah,
injury wise. I mean,
Yep.
all it takes is one little slip up, and you're screwed.
Yep.
So
it's kind of like martial arts. Those guys have a way and have a method and a form of going about doing what they do in order for the move to come off as they do. And it's pretty much the same aspect with wrestling. If you're in there with somebody that knows what they're doing, everything is going to flow proper.
Yeah.
Because both individuals are so familiar with what's going on in that situation that you can just about make anything out of it, as long as you know what you're doing.
I'm thinking of a couple of guys I know now that I have worked with in the past, and Stan will know exactly who I'm talking about as I'm saying all this. That I ran a wrestling school for a while, and the guys that would show up, they wouldn't put the work in, so they didn't learn. But then they went out and tried to run their own shows, and every time you get in the ring with them, they don't know how to throw a punch. They shoot on you basically every time you're in the ring with them because they don't know what they're doing. So to protect yourself, you have to shoot back. And that's something I've never liked doing, is shooting on people. But you're not going to protect me. I'm gonna beat your ass. So
Yeah.
and Stan knows exactly who I'm talking about. So.
Oh yeah, definitely.
When you talk about shoot, for those people in the chat and maybe watching later, I never assume that anybody knows anything. I always like being taught like that. Yeah. Don't assume I know. A lot of people have a problem with that. They get offended if you tell them the basics. Oh, I know that. So I never want to assume that anybody. So when you say shoot, it's a real deal. Shoot is a real thing happening, and work is it's
you're working with the man. You're gonna hit the man in the legal area, so to speak,
all right.
as opposed to the illegal areas. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm working with Dr.X at a match, I'm gonna hit him in the areas that won't be considered illegal, and I'm not gonna hit him in an illegal fashion. I will hit him with a forearm, not a closed fist.
You're gonna act like you're gonna break my neck, but you're not actually gonna break my neck.
Right.
And so
because
when somebody
any wrestling move can't be translated into a legitimate shot, so to speak.
So I want to ask wild card. See, now we're talking about moves. Now, and the wrestlers can probably attest to this. You guys may know them all, but you have a bag that you'd like to go to, kind of a routine, maybe a flip it up, to do this one first with a combo. But I have a certain set of ones like I always loved when I saw Austin do the Luthez press. There were just certain moves that I liked, and he had a bag of tricks that he went to. Wild card, did you have like a certain set of maneuvers that when you saw as a kid or growing up and got older that were just like those just really attracted you? Like, I love those moves.
I'd say my favorite one, it's kind of an oddball one, but Bret Hart's middle rope elbow drop, that forearm smash elbow, it was so basic, but the way he did it was so flawless, and I like I said, it's a basic move, right? There shouldn't be anything special about it, but it's just he kept his form the entire way. Just the way he did it was just done extremely beautiful, I guess you could say, right? It was done really, really well. And then the impact on it, you really felt it. He made you feel that impact. the way that he would kind of roll forward and would his elbow and forearm, like this whole section would kind of roll across his opponent's face a little bit and stuff. It made it like really high impact type of move. And at the time, you know, with guys his size, you know, with like your Shawn Michaels and your Owens and stuff like, and people like that, while they were doing a little bit more faster pace, a little bit more high flying moves, Brett didn't need all that stuff. That was his high flying move. And it was just from the middle rope, and it was just an elbow drop. And it set up everything else after that perfectly.
Yeah, Big Stan.
That's what got Brett over as a legitimate competitor, because everything that he did, you could believe it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was believable.
I think that is a big testament to Bret Hart, why he always claims he is the excellence of execution, because he truly is. I mean, Bret Hart is pretty much flawless when it comes to in-ring work. You know, and you can't hardly match him with anybody that you're not going to have a good match. You know.
Yeah, his ring presence is second to none.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, Big Stan.
All of that goes back to his training.
Mm-hmm.
Big Stan, what are the moves that you like to go to? You know what I'm saying? Kind of take us through maybe a combo. Like, you know, I know a combo may be a move that they say on the fucking video game or whatever, but maybe something in tandem that you'd like to hit.
I get it. But, well, first of all, I would like to elaborate on, as a kid, the moves that attracted me the most, the move sets, which happened to be the hip toss, arm drag, drop kick combination that I would see, or the flying clothesline and flying forearms. Nothing, you know, it was just from within the confines of coming off the mat. You know, before the high flying stuff really became a thing. But those were my move sets that I can remember as a kid, you know. But my personal go-to, mainly the clothesline, which has been referred to as like the sickle from Nikita Koloff.
Okay.
You know, I'll hit you with the sickle, and then I'll transition into the elbow drop, flying elbow drop off the rope, and then I'll come back with what they call the super guillotine leg drop, and I will attempt a pinfall from there.
Like you've told me before, you're more of a smash mouth. You can do the technical, but you prefer the smash mouth.
Yeah, if I get in a situation where it's move for move, hold for hold, I can definitely hold my own in that realm. But at the same time, yeah, I'm just mostly brawling, getting myself to a point where I can catch you with a suplex, and of course, pretty much the suplexes brings everything over to my advantage, you know, and I can perform any suplex that's necessary. But you know, yeah, a lot of times I control the flow in the matches that I've been in. You know, I try to stretch it out for the fans' enjoyment, but the fans have gotten so accustomed to my matches maybe lasting 20 minutes tops, because they just know. I mean, at this point, you got to be like the baddest of the bad. And I'm not saying this to be bragging, but you got to be like the baddest of the bad. You really got to be able to get in there and hang when you're in the ring with me, because I'm bringing everything.
Hey.
Everything I'm doing is going to be the hard way, and I'm going to want it the hard way. I want to get hit with your best shot, because I don't want nobody leaving my match or leaving the show that I was on saying that my match was bullshit.
Hey, you know what? You know what Pac always says? Even I'm getting some heat in the chat right here. I'm getting some heat in the chat right here from M3 Reviews. I would love to jump off the turnbuckle and smash Pac. slap my elbow super fly snooker style. You know what? I always say too, if you're gonna be in the ring with Big Stan, you better pack a fucking lunch, boy. That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, it's real in the field, baby.
So, Dr. X, what were your favorite moves you like to do?
Oh wow, man! You know, I really got hooked on wrestling when I was about 8 years old, around I'd say 1977. You know, I'd spend Friday nights with my grandmother, and we'd get up Saturday morning. First thing she'd do is turn on the TV to Mid-South Wrestling. You know, so I grew up with the Junkyard Dog and Ted DiBiase and those guys, and then after that show was over, we'd turn into World Class, and I'd get to see people like the Freebirds. And, you know, I've always been attracted to the bad guys, hence the mask, you know. So as far as moves that I like to do, I've always been like a submission guy. Of course, I just soon pull a pair of brass knuckles out and hit you with those. But, you know, cheat to win. That's my motto. You know, I don't care how I get it. Just bring the goal to me, you know. So, but as far as moves that I like to do, I've always been a fan of the figure four leg lock.
Oh, nice.
Things like that. Of course, I'm a big transition guy. I like to go from collar and elbow to a headlock to something else, you know. Oh shoot, man! There's just so many. You know, but probably my favorite's the figure four, Boston crabs. I like tying people up and making them hurt. So.
Oh, so you've been a heel most. Oh, go ahead, Big Stan. Go ahead.
Speaking of Ted DiBiase, I noticed his son here. Oh, I got the book right here. We've got both Ted DiBiase and his son, who was also along that list of names here from Dr.X's past shows that he promoted. Just wanted to put that out there.
As a promoter, right?
Yeah.
Oh, those some of my contacts you still have?
Yes, sir.
Well, cool. I'm glad you have them because I don't have them anymore.
Oh, yeah. I still have them right here.
Yeah. Luckily, when I was promoting shows, I did get to work with a couple of great guys along the way. Of course, you know, my trainer and mentor, Skandar Akbar, God rest his soul. He was like a second dad to me. He really took me under his wing and taught me a lot. And I'd call him up and he'd just say, "Hey, what can I do for you?" You know, and I've been to his house several times and talked things over and told him, you know, I think I'm about running my own promotion. And he's like, "Well, if there's anything I can do to help you, you let me know." So I called him more times than I even called my own family, you know, and through him, I got to bring him into shows, and the late great Danny Hodge, you know, total old school right there. And that man, 70-something years old, could still crush an apple with his bare hands. Just an amazing gentleman.
Nice.
Alex Porto from WWE. Some people know him as the Pug, some the Beach Bum, you know. Other great guys we've got to work with, Ricky and Robert, the Rock and Roll Express. Two awesome guys right there. Very fortunate to get to bring them in before. And because of all that, I've got to meet a lot of people like Billy Gunn. There's a guy working in AEW now that I became friends with, Ricky Starks. He's a real good guy, and hopefully we can get him back in at some point. But, you know, I've just been really blessed in the business, and, you know, one of the greatest blessings, I met Big Stan and now you guys, and I'm very grateful for the opportunities I've been given and surely don't deserve by any means.
Oh, sir. I wanted to ask you this. You said you were a heel. Is that most of your career, all your career?
for the majority of it. When I started out, I tried. My first character was called Russian Roulette, and that was with a mask. That lasted a couple of months, and then I tried going face with a character by the name of Arkansas Plowboy. I wore overalls to the ring. That lasted for about 6 months, and then I was talking with Atbar one day, and he said, I said, man, I need a character idea. He goes, okay, how about Dr.X? He goes, of course, it's been done before, and, you won't be the first, but, so I kind of took it on, and I've been Dr.X ever since. So,
Wow.
of course, I had another character without a mask. I worked twice in a night, once with the mask and once without. So,
So if you wanted to right now, you could pull heat like that. Is that right?
Oh, probably, yeah.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, man. I love pissing people off because I'm in a mask. You don't know who I am at the end of the night. I can leave the building without the mask on, and I can go home safely. So it's all good. Well, one of my most favorite memories. I know it's kind of a stupid thing I kind of come up with at the spur of the moment, but this old gal was yelling at me at ringside one night, just giving me fits because I was cheating and all this stuff. Go figure, And she was just hollering and calling me names, and so I finally just stopped everything, grabbed the microphone. I said, "Hey, lady, I don't know why you're mad at me." "Oh, wait a minute, you're not mad at me. You're mad because Burger King won't put in an all-you-can-eat Whopper buffet." Well, that kind of shut her up for a little bit. So, yeah.
Yeah, man. That's great. I tell you what I didn't appreciate when I was a younger fan. Wrestling should invoke emotions. And when I was younger, I was like, man, fuck that guy. He's pissing me off, man. I want my guy to win. It's very important that you have that pull. You have the emotions of you. The crowd needs to go through those ups and downs.
Oh, yeah.
That's
definitely.
what keeps bringing you back, even if you got pissed off. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's the fun part of the whole show to me, is seeing the crowd react, and I can be a total dick during the match, and then you have little kids that are scared to come up to you. Well, I just turn off the bad guy. I'm not your typical heel. I don't stay in character when it comes to fans, because if they come up and they're having a good time and they're brave enough to approach you, I turn off the asshole image and I'll talk to them and whatever. I went to an independent deal in Oklahoma one time, and this no-name guy, I'd name his name here just to embarrass his ass, but I won't. Some little kid come up to him after the show wanting his autograph, and the guy was like, "Yeah, for $25." I'm like, "Dude, you're nobody. If you cannot sign your name on a piece of paper for a kid, you need to get the fuck out of the business." Excuse my language, but
Amen. There's no excuse necessary here, sir.
Yeah. So, I like working the people. Because without them, we wouldn't be where we are today. And enjoying this great business. So,
yeah.
Well, and you really got to see what the lack of a crowd does to a wrestling show during 2020, right?
Oh, definitely.
The crowd is its own entity in a wrestling show. It doesn't matter how big, how small, whatever.
Exactly.
It's its own thing.
Well, Akbar told me when I first got into this business, he goes, "I don't care if there's one person in the crowd, 5 people in the crowd, 500 or 5,000. You go out there and you give 120% every time." And that has stuck with me since day one. And it's very true. If there's one person out there, I'm going to be the same guy I am if there's 5,000 out there, and give them the best show possible. And I know Stan's the same way.
Well, that brings me to a story. New Boston, Texas. we rolled into that thing supposedly the heels. We did everything possible to show that we were the heels.
Yeah.
And guess what? We got the loudest eruption out of everybody throughout the entire show. February 3rd, 2017, the night before the Super Bowl, Super Saturday.
Yeah.
U.S.
That was
Championship
crazy.
on the line.
Yeah. I mean, you know, you just don't know how the crowd's going to react. And, you know, either they love you or they hate you. And, you know, but they took to us.
We went against the firemen. We were against the firemen for God's sakes. But guess what? They cheered for the G's. They cheered for the hustlers. They cheered for the money makers.
Yeah.
The men that didn't give a damn. We came out victorious. Of course, all of that credibility has to go to the brass knuckles, but still.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think he's referring to using brass knuckles because I heard you say
Who, me? No, I wouldn't do that.
Hey, I didn't say who had the brass knuckles. I just made a reference to the brass knuckles, brother. But here's the proof right here.
Well, you know, like I said before, I think, you know, by any means necessary to get the gold, man.
That's right. That's the other drip right there, baby. Still got it intact. Still got it in our possession.
I thought we was gonna have a drip promo wild card. Man, I got fucked up right there. Man, he just pulled heat on me. He's like, "Oh yeah, no, not today, bro."
Oh no, I didn't know if you were ready for it yet.
Hey,
I didn't know if you were ready for it yet.
Dude, that is a whole nother. That's a whole
if you
nother
do
show.
It, baby, we can do it. Hold on a second. You know, I'm not going to half step. We're going all the way, baby. If you just want to do it.
Yeah, we need to come up with you a third belt there.
Oh yeah, most definitely. You know, because that seems to be the ongoing trend right now. Everybody wanting to have more than one championship, but I wonder who made that the popular thing going right now. I wonder who popularized that. I just wonder. Anyway, as you can see, I have more gold than I can carry. That's why I'm glad I have
We'll find a way for you to carry more.
Dr.X with me. Because it's like this right here, baby. When you're BSH and when you're Dr.X Incorporated, you are all gold. That's exactly right. And I think that might just have to go on a t-shirt here pretty soon. But with that said, for everybody out there that thought that I only had one championship, look again, baby, think again. Because it's all about the gold when you're talking about BSH and Dr.X Enterprises, baby, simply because we are devastation and we are what it's all about in the world of professional wrestling. Yeah.
There you go.
Hey, can I just say, hey, I don't know about you, Wildcard, but I need one of them fucking shirts, Big Stan.
Yeah.
How to get my hands on a Dr.X, bro. Come on now.
Hey, well,
hey, there's the man right there, baby.
Well, I bet we can hook you up with that, man.
Oh man, hey,
you just let Stan know what size, and we'll get it to you.
Oh, I don't have the Stan size, but you know, Stan got the. But
I'm little right now. I'm little at this junction. I'm little.
Well, you know how that muscle memory goes. They come right back like that.
Definitely.
That is a whole nother show I would love to talk to you about because there is a whole story about being a heel, taking the heat, knowing how to give it. You come from the old days where brothers were getting knifed because they were working the heel angle so good.
Yeah, you know, back to Akbar, man. I tell you what, I've heard some pretty crazy stories about him up and down through the years that, and some of them even come from Danny Hodge when I was talking to him. He and Danny Hodge traveled the roads together all the time, even though they were a tag team for a while. And then, of course, Act turned on him and whatnot. But Yeah, Akbar was the only man to ever have to wear a bulletproof vest into the Louisiana Superdome. You know, that's how much the heat got back in those days. You know, that was back during the oil embargo, and he threatened to cut off the oil supply to the U.S. Of course, this man lives in Dallas, Texas, but yet, you know, he had people eating out of the palm of his hand that he could cut off the oil supply to the U.S. And the state troopers told him, said, "Don't you go out there tonight?" And he goes, "No, I got a job to do. I'm going into the Superdome." And so they put security nets all up around the Superdome and made him wear a bulletproof vest under his robe to go out there. So, yeah. He had bought a brand new Buick one time, and some guys invited him out for some drinks after the show. He went. They beat his ass up with a pool cue. And when he walked out to his new car, all the windows were busted out and all the tires were flat. So, I mean, people took this crap really serious back in the day, you know.
Yeah, well, when I was telling you, like my pocket era, you know, I was growing up, it was on TV in the 80s, you know,
Yeah.
but my big pocket was the mid 90s on. That's what just captivated me. And a big part, and the reason I'm saying this is I could see what you're talking about. When I didn't really understand the business, I was just loving it. I don't mean I'm not in the business. I don't know it like you guys do, but I know a little bit more how you got to have somebody that pisses you off or it just doesn't work. That's what I'm kind of meaning. Like when I've said it before, when I would watch Triple H wrestle Stone Cold, I would get so fucking pissed at him. He'd get the sledgehammer. He'd do whatever, and he would screw him. And then I was just watching it, and they were getting my reactions.
Yeah.
As I get older, I'm like, I get it now, you know. But I remember that feud was very vivid in my mind, man. It didn't matter who he went up against. He was sledgehammers. He was cheating, and it pissed you off so bad. But later as I got older, which I'm glad I didn't understand that younger because I would have dampened my experience. So, you know what I mean?
Oh, I fully understand, you know, and like I said earlier, you know, I've always been drawn to the heels for some reason, you know. You get somebody like Michael Hayes and Terry Bam Bam Gordy and Buddy Jack Roberts in the ring, and you know, it just for some reason the heel has just always clicked with me. So,
do you have a favorite heel wild card or multiple or any?
Man, gosh, dude, off the top of my head,
think about that, man, because that's, you know,
that's a hard thing for me to really answer because truthfully, I've always, you know, I can tell you favorite wrestlers just from you know, like just from what they did, you know, from when they were maybe a face or a heel or whatever. And as I've gotten older, I've like it doesn't. I don't want to say it doesn't affect me because that basically means it doesn't draw my emotions out, right? But like you kind of start to see, you know, like heels and faces or whatever, they kind of started to blend together a little bit.
Yeah.
But man, I will say, you know, we talked about it on that Roddy Piper show, but I got to give it to Piper. When Piper was a heel, man, he was hated. Absolutely hated. See, that's that MJ, like MC DJ is saying that, but like I never really thought of the NWO and the Outsiders as bad guys.
Me either.
You know, like they were like the cool kids they were like, that was that cool club that you wanted to be a part of, you know. They were, especially when you were at a certain age, like a younger age, and you were watching it, that was just kind of like your older cousins or your older brothers, like, you know, doing like stupid shit or whatever on the street.
I think that was supposed to cater to the older audience. And when people like me and you came up wild card, we didn't like that shit anymore. We liked the DX stuff. We like Stone Cold came out and he was supposed to be the heel. Oh no, he's the guy I want. You know, things that were supposed to turn on us one way, we turned it another way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, you know, the whole NWO outsider thing didn't strike me as bad guys until Eric Bischoff revealed himself as part of it.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and that's when it clicked for me. Was like, here they done put you through a table, and then you come back the next week and you're the ringleader of this crap. But but I agree with what you're saying. You know, that just the older stuff is what resonates with me more, though. So
yeah.
Am I going to mention my favorite heel?
Oh, you're up. You're up.
I just want to go ahead and put it out there. The Iron Sheik, baby. Sheiky.
Oh.
Sheiky, baby, #1.
What's up, Cobra Viper?
See, like MJ DJ says, so ravishing Rick Rude. Like he was a good heel, but when I was watching Rick Rude, I was younger. I was probably like 6, 7, and I knew what he was doing was wrong. You know, he's going after like married women or whatever would take him, right? And I knew that was wrong, but it never really clicked to me because I wasn't in that age group, that male age group he was trying to piss off, right? So I didn't really, click to ravishing. Now I will say Rick Rude in the ring, absolutely loved him as a wrestler. But the whole the whole gimmick and all that stuff that he had just didn't really resonate with me because I was too young for it. But
I got a shout out to Dr.X from M3 Reviews. Also, I want to give a shout out to Pop the Trunk Toys, Casual Collector, and Danny Dolphin in the building tonight. I didn't get a chance to shout them out earlier, so I wanted to go ahead and get that in real quick.
You know, back to Rick Rude, it's just his total cockiness is what made him cool. You know, him and Kurt Hennig too, two of the best cocky guys I've ever seen ever work in the ring. You know, just their attitude about everything they did, it just made them super cool to me. Yeah,
that was back in the day. Like Rick Rude was a man's man.
Oh yeah,
man's man.
Like you said, everybody wanted to be him. You know, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
DiBiase has to kind of stick out for me also as the $1 Million Man.
Yeah, DiBiase was a great heel, especially when he teamed up with IRS.
Right.
Like that was it. Because how do you get this, this super greedy, rich douchebag? If you make them, who's going to team up with that guy? Oh, Wall Street's going to team up with that guy. Of course it would, right? So, so IRS done. It was a great tag team right there. They complemented each other so well.
And of course, you can't leave out the Nature Boy and the Horseman.
Oh my God, dude. There's so much we could talk about. We're supposed to be talking about moves and highlighting Dr.X, and I think we've done some of them things. But that's what I'm talking about. I know in the future we're going to be discussing like specific matches, and kind of zoning in on some of those, because there's so many different pockets.
Well, I know y'all are probably too young to remember this guy, but one of the best heels ever for me was Hacksaw, Buzz Sawyer. Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer.
Yep.
Yeah, Mad Dog.
Well, you've seen the different transitions. You've seen the transition during the 70s and 80s, like you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm old, man.
And then the transition through the 90s and the 2000s, and now you see it. Now you've been in like all the transitions, and we talked beforehand about it's just like the imagination is lost to me when I watch it.
I think what made it to where a lot of the guys like Dr.X and the older, generation, the old school guys that were in the business before me, it was the fact that I knew about all of these names that he's bringing up, and I knew them well because even as 5, 6-year-old, I was just that tuned in. Just watching Mid-South. When it came on, which I remember World Class coming on first in the morning. Then Mid-South would come on around 2 o'clock, between 1 and 2 o'clock. And then you had the NWA coming on later on that afternoon. I think it was like 5:05, 6:05, something like that. And then they would cap it off with World Class again around 10 p.m. Saturday night. And if we were lucky, we would get some Saturday night's main event from the WWF on NBC. So, like I said, I can relate because even at that young of an age, I was just that zoned in to the wrestling. So I can remember a lot of those names, a lot of those matches from back then.
We're not going to close up right away, but we're going to be thinking about closing the shop soon. Please, if anybody has any questions for any of us, especially Dr. X, I don't know when the next time is we're going to be able to talk to him. I hope soon. I hope frequently. I know life has different plans and people have things happening, but damn, there's a lot of knowledge that can be learned from this man, from Big Stan. And we just ready to absorb it up. And I feel like, maybe the old school can get lost a little bit, and it's got to stay alive. For me, it's got to stay alive.
The old school alive, baby.
Yeah.
But one way that you are guaranteed to have the old school kept alive is right here. See, because you got to understand something. The persona of BSH, for the most part, comes from the old school.
What?
If you can dig that.
What?
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 Yeah, what are you drinking? That's what I want to know.
Dos Equis. Dos Equis. Oh, look at it. Hey, damn it. You're going to make me go crack another one.
I ain't drinking nothing now, Daddy. You know why? Because it is
you just finished. That's why.
Gone.
Oh. What would you be drinking, sir? Dr. X?
What am I drinking? Some sweet tea.
All right. Spoken like a man who is very comfortable right now.
Yeah. Well, I'm not on call for my regular job tonight, so I may go slip in there and get a little bourbon here in a little bit. So.
I have another show I do that I get pretty banged up on, and sometimes the Jack Daniels, sometimes the whiskey comes out. Every now and then it comes out.
Yeah.
But if you guys have any questions for him, please go ahead. You guys go ahead and take it. I'm gonna go get another beer and be right back.
All right, let's check it out. Let's check out the chats.
So what's your favorite drink, Dr. X? What gets you? Let me ask you this. Do you have now? My uncle, back in the day, he used to tell me that he would always, he would take a drink before he would go out.
Mm-hmm.
Just take a sip of beer or whatever to kind of ease his nerves from the crowd and whatever. Do you got anything like that kind of before you walk out from that curtain, you just,
No, I really don't. I've been in the back with guys before that take a shot of Jack Daniels before they go out, and I did that one time, and it didn't help my nerves any. Because once I get out there, I just pretty much get in the mode, and I'm ready to go. Before I walk through the curtain, I'm as nervous as I can be, but once you go out there, it just kind of pops, and just go with it. So I've never had to do that. So, but my go-to drink, if I'm not drinking a beer, I'll do a bourbon and Coke or some gin and tonic. But I prefer bourbon, though.
Okay. Now, I'm gonna ask you another question. They might be a little like quick fire kind of questions until.
All right.
Now, earlier we were talking about the old days, people stabbed, shot, beat up. Anything like that happen to you? Any kind of like situation?
Well, I had a little kid stab me in the leg with a safety pin one time, but that was about it.
All right. What provoked that? Did he?
He was just a little asshole.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Let's see. What's your most memorable, I guess, most memorable thing that you've seen while watching somebody else's match from behind the curtain, from that position? What's the one thing that you just sticks out in your head about anybody that you
That's a
think?
good question.
Oh, just the most memorable thing I think is just watching a couple guys that really didn't know what they were doing and had no business being in the ring at all, and the other guy tried to bring the other guy up for a suplex and ended up just dropping him on his head, yeah. And another time, this guy, we were in Paris, Texas at a show one time, and these two clowns got out of the ring and were trying to do stuff out in the crowd, and it was at a fairgrounds, and so they had this cinder block wall there, and the one guy shot the other guy into the wall, and the guy didn't block himself. He went head smack first into that wall and knocked himself out. So,
Jesus.
You'll see a lot of it in Paris these days.
yeah.
Right. My girl Danny Dolphin wants to know: have you ever been seriously injured, Dr. X?
In the ring, yes. I've blown my knee out before. Less serious injuries. I broke fingers and stuff like that. But yeah, I have blown the knee out before.
Was that your fault or was that their fault?
It was my fault. I misstepped and I caught myself wrong. So
I got you. Okay. Pack, you got any questions for Dr. X, or you got anything for Big Stan?
No, I mean, there's a lot. What was the last? When was your last match, Dr. X?
Oh, probably about 7 years ago, right before I had that car wreck.
Oh, we all know you won, so we know you won. So,
well, actually, I didn't, but thanks for the thought.
Well, I don't know if it was your planned last match because we know the wrestling business dictates you go out on your back.
No, it really was not my planned last match. Like I told you earlier, never say never. My neck does give me a lot of problems, and my shoulders do from that wreck. But hey, if Big Stan said, "Hey, I want to work a tag with you," I'd jump in there again.
Oh, I don't know if you've seen Ready to Rumble, sir, but that's one of my favorite movies, and I'm gonna be down there, and I'll be like David Arquette. Me next, hit me.
I've watched it several times. I love it,
dude. I'll take a jab straight up from both y'all.
You just gave me an idea, soul brother, and I think I'm about to put it in motion.
Oh, tag!
Yeah,
tag.
I think we got a good 4-way right here, man.
Oh, I've wrenched on cars my whole life as a mechanic, and we used to do some crazy shit. You can't get away with this stuff now with the way HR is and how society is.
No, not at all.
Oh, man, we used to have parts cars out back that people would abandon, and we could just strip. I used to take body slams on the hoods of them. Like, I used to have these two service advisors that we were all into wrestling, and I would go out back, and they would body slam me on the hood of a car. People were like, doesn't that hurt? It never really hurt. I must have taken it right. I didn't know what I was doing. We used to knife edge chop each other in the bathroom because at the end of the day, we'd take our uniforms off and change. Yeah. Somebody would run in there when you had your shirt off, and they would light you up or give you the big show open hand. Boom. I'd leave out there with like big, huge red. We used to do shit like that in the movie all the time, man. So that's what you guys, that's the fun that you guys gave us. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, when I was running my own training center, I had a guy working with me. And I'll shout out to him right now. I don't know if he's watching or not, but Doyle Hughes, that's how he would break in a new recruit first thing, he would have them take their shirt off, and everybody would chop him. And Dole would go last because he chops hard. I mean, he's a little dude. He's a cruiserweight. But when he chops you, he's going to leave a red mark for sure.
Yeah.
So.
And for anybody that doesn't know what a chop is, that was
my man Doyle Hughes, baby, the one-man rocker. That's right.
Yeah. Dole, bless his heart, he was in a bad wreck, a year or so ago, and he ended up having a leg amputated. But I'm hoping he can get back in it one of these days.
Yeah, he's actually one of my best friends in the wrestling business, and you are fortunate to ever encounter true friends in wrestling, and Doyle is definitely one of them.
Oh,
along with Ray Stryker, and of course the Brutal Assault Dynasty and the tag team Brutal Pain. I got to definitely throw those guys in there as far as guys that I'm able to call friends or family besides this man right here that's with us tonight.
Well, I appreciate that because you're one of my best friends in the business, and I wouldn't trade nothing for it, man. We need to get hold of Brutal Pain and see if we can't get them back in the ring.
Most definitely, that would be a treat.
Definitely Merc, man.
Oh yeah.
Dr.X, I got one last question for you.
Absolutely.
All right. Now you've been throwing around, all night, Mid-South, Rock and Roll Express, Midnight Express, Junkyard Dog, throwing these names around. Now I'm thinking that you've run across Jim Cornette. So here's my question.
Okay.
For you. I don't know if you've listened to his podcast. I don't know if you've listened to his shows, but I mean, he goes off quite a bit on a lot of modern wrestling and all.
Well, that's just Jim Cornette, ain't it?
Absolutely.
I don't know what people's opinion are, but I watch his fucking show all the time, and I love Jim Cornette.
I have, to be honest with you, I have not watched his show. I haven't listened but to like one or two podcasts of his. But I've always been a Cornette fan because Cornette, he pulls no punches. He tells it like it is. And either he likes you or he don't. And if he don't, you're going to know he don't. I mean, that's just.
Anybody who
Cornette's just plastic asshole with the tennis racket.
Kind of reminds us of Al Henderson.
Yeah. Either you either like Cornette or you hate him, but Cornette, he don't give a shit either way. So
I'm just always drawn to the OGs because, like, I don't give two fucks about somebody who says I can talk a certain way on my show.
Yeah,
and that was always taught to me by the OGs, the older guys, and I was always taught. If it's real, be you. So. And Jim Cornette, if anybody that doesn't know, he's got this show and it's on YouTube, and it's called Cornette Drive Through or something. But he shoots on about everything. He has another guy with him, doesn't talk as much because Jim Cornette can talk and he talks well. But yeah, they ask him questions and he shoots on everything, man. Just look him up, Jim Cornette. Great listen. I would love it.
I wish you could get him on your show sometime because that would be total entertainment from nonstop.
Holy fuck, he would shoot on me and be like, "Fuck."
Yes, but that's what a lot of the wrestling business has come to, like as far as the indies, because like Dr.X was explaining earlier, man, you've got a lot of that backyard trash bag BS going on in the business right now, and it really hurts the business more than anything, and thankfully you got people like Jim Cornette and Dr.X and myself who elaborates on these things and tries to inform the general public and the general audience, because people that don't know the wrestling business to the extent that we do, they can be easily misled,
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, I'm all for supporting independent wrestling. That's what it's come down to for me these days is I don't watch WWE anymore because I don't agree with their storylines or their so-called crap that they do on TV every week. The only thing I watch on TV now is AEW, and simply because I have a friend that works for them, and they're trying to, in a way, keep it as old school as possible with some new twist, I guess you would say.
Yeah,
But
Don't
you know,
be surprised if you see BSH and the Good Doctor show up on AEW before it's all said and done, baby.
Hey,
I'm all for it, brother. I hope you make it.
I'll be that.
I'm talking about.
I'll be that guy carrying your bags, bro. Hey, you know what? It ain't a show unless I get a fuck you pack. Thank you very much, Danny Dolphin. Much appreciated.
Oh man, haters are everywhere, man.
Well, if you ain't
great.
got haters,
I would encourage anybody out there to go and support your independent promotions, but just be careful of the ones that you do support, simply because of the talent that they're bringing in. You know, if you see that they're just crap, it's not a good show. I mean, know the difference between a good show and a crap show. Because there's a lot of people out there supporting a lot of trash bag promotions out there, and
Well,
it's our job to run them out of business, and I hope we can.
well, I want to kind of preface this. Me and Danny Dolphin got heat now, so there's heat now.
You want to borrow my brass knucks?
Oh, hey, if I get a shirt, I would love some freaking worn in Dr.X brass knucks.
Hey man, I got all kinds of weapons, brother.
Yes,
I can hook you up.
Yeah, he'll sit there sometimes when we're backstage, and he'll go through his arsenal of weapons, and I have to tell him, you know, at this particular time, no, Doc, we don't need that. We don't need that. What about this? No,
wow,
we're not going to take none of that.
I'm really bad about trying to show up before Stan gets there so I can hide shit in the turnbuckle pads so he won't know it's there yet.
There you go. Hey, Dr.X, that's my language, bro. Get him. Hey, he's good. But what I wanted to say was BiGG Stan wrestles for the Southwest Professional Wrestling outfit, and you also work for them too in a capacity, yes, correct, sir?
What's that?
You also work for Southwest Professional Wrestling in a certain capacity, don't you?
Every now and then, yes, sir.
Okay. I didn't know if it was for advertising or what it might have been, or.
Well, I just do whatever they want me to do. You know, I mean, if it's to come in to make an appearance or manage someone, or you know, I'm pretty much at the point where I'll do whatever they need done. You know, I just want to help them sell the show. So
I want to see Dr.X put the boots to him. That's what the fuck I want to see. Look, hey, you know what? So, hey, let me get some color with some Dr.X knucks.
this is the part of the show where you start to realize Pac is starting to get a little smashed.
Hey,
yeah.
We have another guy in the community that was on the show, and he calls it getting banged up. I like to get banged up. So
there's nothing wrong with that every now and then.
Fuck no. I spent years that way. I would come home after busting knees and elbows all day in the shop, and I'd drink a bunch of beers and reset the ECU and start over again the next day.
There you go.
Fuck it. But man, I know I gotta turn this motherfucker off, and I don't want to because I enjoy listening to what he has to say. I enjoy listening to what Wildcard has to say. I enjoy what the first ever Texarkana wrestling champion, Big Stan. I'm not sure what the other belt is because
For-
we don't ever
for a
fucking talk
reason.
about that belt.
For
Big
a
Stan.
reason, baby.
Big Stan,
For a
hold
reason.
them belts up, baby, and show them the originator that's always duplicated, baby. Go ahead.
It couldn't be a more true statement made, brother, because you know you got these haters, as my man Dr.X just mentioned. But one thing that the haters don't have is the double drip. And if we've got anything to do with it, baby, we will turn this into even more drip. That's right. It could be triple drip. It could be quadruple drip. It could be 5 times, whatever you call that. 6 times, 7 times, 8 times, 9 times, 10 times, 100 times. It doesn't make us any difference, baby. Because all you need to know at the end of the day is that we're dripping. And we're dripping wet with nothing but pure gold for anybody that wants to try and challenge the might of Big Stan Harris,
Hey,
Dr. X,
hey,
my
Dr.
man
X.
Back Daddy,
Yes, sir.
the wild card, empty reviews,
You can't get a word in edgewise when he starts rolling, man. What you talking about?
Hey, Dr. X, if you won
Got
the
it
belt
right here.
tomorrow, would you call it the drip?
Probably not.
Yeah, I didn't think so. So guess what?
Oh yeah, I hadn't got a chance to get him up to speed on that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm still,
We-
I'm old and I'm old school, so it's just the gold to me, brother.
I call it the
yeah,
strap.
we talk.
The strap.
So we do a lot of sort of like boardroom business discussions and business talk when me and the good doctor talk. I actually haven't got a chance to let him in on the terminology of the championships being known as the drip, but
You know,
now he knows.
even
he'll
when
be-
you
he'll
get
be
me
able
up
to run
to speed, I probably won't call it the drip. So.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
Lord, have mercy.
Oh, boy,
As long
Danny.
as
He's
you
killing.
know-
Oh, boy. See, that's how it is, man. We got to let loose after a while, man. This is why I don't drink before I start the show. I let it fizzle in. Oh, man.
Well, after this experience, I might be drinking something harder than tea next time we get together.
Dude, hey, you should, because I welcome it. You know what? I welcome it. What we got here? Let's see. We got
Yeah,
anything
Give me
else?
a quick up there, ain't gonna tell what I'll say.
He'll go with the drip then. Maybe he'll go with the drip then.
I might start calling it the drip. Who knows?
Oh my god. I don't know what I'm gonna do if I hear Dr. X call it the drip.
Just try it. Try it one time. Try it one time. See how it sounds. See how
Seriously?
it comes out. Come on, try it. Let them know.
Hey,
Oh my God.
hey,
Well, let
check-
me tell all you people something right here, right now. When Dr. X is in town and Big Stan Harris is in town, all we're coming for is the drip, baby.
Oh, I couldn't get the solo layout quick enough. You fucking heard it here. Dr. X just laid you the fuck out.
Believe that.
God, now we're fucking rolling. Now we're rolling, man. This is the shit I'm talking about.
See, this is what's going to happen. When Dr. X and Big Stan, they roll into your town, they're going to take your belt and they're going to melt it down and they're going to make themselves a new belt. So that way Big Stan can get his third. And then they're going to move on to the next town and the next and the next and the next. So that way Big Stan can mark up all the way up to 100 drips around the man's waist. Baby, get ready, because they come into your town and they're going to tear it down.
You know
I
what?
love it. I love it.
Give me 1 second, guys.
Yep. You know what? I'm thinking right here, Big Stan and Wild Card, and DJ, M3, Danny, whoever the fuck may be in still. You know what I'm thinking? I think I might want Dr. X to pull a heel job on me. Just rip my ass up heel style, bro. I want to hear the tactics, bro. Just tear my ass up.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna let you know right now. I'm gonna give you a heads up, Pack Daddy. It ain't gonna be nothing nice.
No,
I promise you that.
let me tell you something. I understand that this man has wrestled for decades, and he's a heel, and he knows how to work the heel angle. So if I say to him, dude, cut a heel promo on me and beat my ass up, I know he's gonna fucking light my ass up.
Well, I'm gonna let you know right now. He's going to the stash. I know exactly what he did. He went to the stash, brother.
You see, it's all about this right here.
There we go. There we go.
By any means necessary.
Oh,
Whether it's chain, brass knucks, it don't matter. It's all about the cash.
It's all about that paper.
It's all about the cash and the gold or the dripped, whatever you want to call it. That's what it's all about. Money and gold, baby.
Believe that.
I'm telling. So, Dr. X, I'm telling you, if you can come back on, I want you to cut a promo on me that makes me just fucking leave the room. Boom, I'm gone.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is because that's a fucking art to be able to work the mic, to be able to freaking either work the heel angle or work the babyface angle. There's a fucking art to that. And I always loved it. We used to always bust each other up good, man. So it's all good to me.
Well, you know, I think that's one reason I've always liked being the heel is because, like I said, you know, I can put the mask on. I can be a totally different person than I am if I'm a face. You know, I've never been the greatest, most talented worker in the ring. I know the basics, so I can work matches, but I'm not a high flyer. You know, I'm too fat for jumping off the top rope. Never going to happen. You know, but Dr. X, I can grab the mic and I can cut a promo on you, and you know, I'll try to make your grandma cry if I can.
Hey,
you know,
love it. Okay. Okay. So, sir, if I get you on again sometime on this here platform,
absolutely,
I'm gonna expect a world famous Dr. X heel job. Straight to me. To me. Busted my
balls. You want it right now, son?
What?
You want it right now?
Wait till the next show, baby.
We gotta leave them
hanging.
I can wait till the next show.
We gotta leave them hanging. We cannot give them everything right now. Fuck that. Hey, McDJ, Danny, M3, Cobra Viper, JJ Pierre, y'all have to fucking wait for that shit. God damn it.
So I saw a comment pop up a while ago. Somebody wanting to know about a shirt. Is that correct?
I think I know it's. I think I know what I like to get banged up. Okay, yes, right here.
Sure you can. They're $30.
Whoa, just like that. 30, baby. Hey, Danny got that. I was gonna say spread. That's just what I want to say. Fucking Danny got that spread. She got $30. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, we can probably do 25.
Oh, hey, you get the 3 live discount, baby.
Danny mentioned that we have to have Dr. X back on. Of course we do. He's the greatest mind in all of professional wrestling.
Yes, and we just let loose and tear up. Just be yourself on this motherfucker. That's all it's about, man. I can't say enough. I get to hang out with Wildcard. I get to be friends with him and BiGG Stan. I got to meet you today, sir. This is just, I mean, when I do this shit, I get to live the fucking dream. M3 reviews right down there. Living the dream with him too, man. He's my boy. He's our boy too.
I appreciate this opportunity, and it's great to meet you guys, and I can't wait until the next time, man, because this has been a blast.
Damn, if I ever get your digits, I will fucking blow them up.
Oh, I'll block your fucking number. So
Yeah, you will.
He's already super busy. You know,
Stan's got my number, so holler at me sometime, man.
Yes, I mean, I can sit here and I can listen to you and just speak wisdom. There's some people that just don't know where that. And
my wife usually tells me to shut the fuck up.
You know what? My wife that you met earlier, she tells me to shut the fuck up all the time. I mean, that's real.
Hey, the wife that I got rid of, she told me to shut the fuck up too. And you know what I did? I divorced her ass.
Oh, McDJ, you gonna get the band hammer, bro? Come on, bro.
Oh man.
Hey, don't make me band hammer you, bro. McDJ, crazy ass. So, with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and make our exits here because we can't give you everything. I know you guys are wanted to hear Dr. X go heel on me. That's what you want, but we're gonna make you wait. So we're just gonna go ahead. Everybody, go ahead and say something on the way out. Wild card. Go ahead, let him know, man.
Well, I'm gonna head back to Florida right after this live stream. I just hope that the security guards don't find the cocaine that are in my boots.
Damn.
Hey, if you're talking wrestling, that's not out of bounds. We know, we've heard stories. You know about that shit. I'm gonna go ahead. Well, I'm gonna go with last. So whichever one of y'all two want to go next, go ahead and go.
I'll just go ahead and take it and say that I was really glad to have a chance to have my main man, my soul brother, the man that took me under his wing and really showed me the business side of the wrestling business like no other. Once again, the greatest mind of professional wrestling, the Honorable Dr. X. Right. Really glad to have him on tonight. And of course, like we told you, guys, this is just the first time. He will be back with us. But we have to consider his schedule. He is an extremely busy man, but he will make an exception when he comes down to BS8, land the request for him to come home and do his thing. I say he can do it.
Well, guys, I really appreciate y'all having me on. It's like I said, it's been an honor to get to chat with you guys tonight. It's always good to see Big Stan, and now I've got two new friends with Pack and Wild Card here. Can't wait for the next time, guys. I'm gonna shoot on your ass hard next time, Pack, and hopefully it'll be what you want. But anyway, thanks again, guys, and everybody that tuned in. Thanks for watching and listening, and keep supporting these guys and everything they're doing, and keep supporting independent wrestling, brothers, because that's what it's all about, you know. These guys count on you, the fans, to make a living and to keep enjoying doing what they're doing, you know. And for an old guy like me, you know, that's what it's all about. It's just doing something that we love to do for you, the fans, and we really appreciate all you for letting us play and enjoy our pastime, you know. So thank y'all.
Oh, great. I mean, it couldn't have been said any better. I want to say, obviously, thank you to Wild Card. Thank you to Big Stan. But thank you to Dr. X for coming on here. What other show are you going to get where you got two professional wrestlers and they throw down and they can get down and they can do it with the best of them and they can hit you with that wisdom? And with that being said, I'm going to roll the tape one more fucking time when we get out of here. Peace.